Okay, so I guess I finally kind of got a day off for the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. But I don't have much for parts. I did finally find a rubber block for the Hemi, so I can start fitting that into the Model A chassis once I get the Model A chassis, which I'm working on at the moment, trying to find my best options because a lot of stuff is back ordered. I purchased a new project, and that'll be here Monday, and I'll go ahead and I'll make a video on that, and we'll talk about what we're going to do with that. So today I don't have much for content. We're kind of stuck waiting on parts. What I was waiting for on the coffin car is, number one, I got to figure a few things out. One is going to be the canopy that I want to put on there. Not necessarily to have the canopy on when I'm actually driving the car, which I'm not going to go far with it anyway. But the canopy, if you were to go to a show or something, just to kind of clean it up, give it a little bit of a finishing touch, and also be able to close it, lock it, secure it, if you're going to walk away from it for a while or whatever. And that's about it, really. So let's talk about how I'm going to try to make this canopy, and I'm trying to figure out what system I want to use. I could build a buck and do a vacuum forming, but I would have to build a machine for any of these processes. Just a simple machine, nothing fancy. The other thing is I could blow mold it. I'm not super familiar with blow molding, but I guess I would start by taking, if you remember, this is the cutout. Can you see it? Yeah. This is the cutout where I cut it out for the entry and for the hatch, the canopy. So I can use this as my template, transfer it to wood, and at that point cut it out, and then figure out a way. Well, I actually kind of figured out how to make the machine already. Basically heat up the acrylic, trap it in between the piece that I cut out and a flat piece that has holes in it so I can blow air through there. Get it all nice and tight, and you got to do this quick. Get everything nice and tight, clamp down, hit it with the air slowly, and let a bubble begin to rise. So now my only thing is, how is that bubble going to rise? Will it rise on the sides here, because the front is curved, so I know that'll work. But where we have our straight in our back, everything is straight there, you know, is it going to blow mold properly? We won't know until we try, but it could become a wasted effort and also wasted money on materials. Acrylic's not cheap. So I may try to find the cheapest way to do that is to use a thin acrylic, just to experiment with, to see how high it gets and does it actually form the way I want it to form. If not, then we can build a buck, which basically will look like a wood canopy, and there's a few different ways you can do that. And then vacuum form it. Again, you got to heat the acrylic till it gets jelly-like, but you know, soft, but not to the point where it's just melting away. And you got to be quick. You take it out of the oven, you put it on top of the buck, you press down with a vacuum seal all the way to the bottom. You clamp it, or actually you could hold it too if you have an extra person. You could hold it because it's going to be vacuumed down. You hit the vacuum button, it'll suck it down, and you leave the vacuum on for a minute, maybe a little longer, just kind of getting your gun out and seeing what the temperature of the glass is, because you don't want it to deform once you release the vacuum. So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I'm going to have to make a decision. Like I said, the equipment is kind of the same. Instead of blowing the air up, you'll be sucking the air down. So I think the same machine will work either way. So that's one of our challenges. And again, nothing came in this week that I could work with or kind of move forward, which kind of sucks. I had 3 days, but you know, I'm kind of stuck, just waiting on, excuse me, different things to come in. Oh, the exhaust. I was hoping to see that this weekend, and again, no, it's not going to be shipped till I think another 10 days from now. It's going to be shipped, you know, a while down the road, so that's going to just kind of kill the whole project. I need to do the exhaust before I do tear down, because it makes no sense to guess where the exhaust is going to go and think it's going to be right without the coffin being on top of the frame. So I'm going to try to find something else to occupy our time and move forward and, you know, try to create a video for this weekend. So I don't know. Here we go. We're going to try. All right, I'll be back with something. Okay, so just trying to find a couple little odds and ends to take care of. And happy 4th, everybody, and happy birthday, America. So, started looking at where to mount the power steering box inside the car. So the first thing I did was I took the bracket that I technically cannot use, and I used it as a template. And I made an additional template, which basically the I'm sure, yeah, you can see that. I guess I'll move closer. So basically, I made a template, and that will go just like that, and it leaves that tab on the back. That tab on the back will be welded to part of the cage inside. And I'll take you into the car in a minute. I'll take the camera off. So what I'm trying to do is just try to occupy my time with some of the little things and get those done. I did a little bit of maintenance in here. I changed the air conditioning filter and just did some basic cleanup and just trying to not trip over everything. I still have a little bit of a mess right here, but we'll get to that later. And also, I need to come up with the idea for the back of the car, which I kind of did come up with the idea, but I'm kind of changing it at this point. And I need to get some rebar in order to start creating the web effect that I want to do back there. Let's move the camera so I can show you where I'm going to mount this. Alright, so I think you got a little bit of a bird's eye view there. And let me just look at my monitor, and yeah, I guess you can see it. Yep. So basically, this is going to mount this way. So originally I was thinking just up top, and of course we've got to level it. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to put it at the bottom. And again, we need to level it at the bottom too. That'll do two things for me. Number one, it'll keep it out of my way. So I put some gauges up in here. Or I might put the gauges into this. We'll see. And I'll just have to get creative with the wiring, so this way when we open it to display the engine, it's not going to interfere with the wiring. But I think it'll be fine, because we can put the wires on this side here. So with that sitting there, and the box sitting here, it gives me the opportunity to go out the left side with the steering arm, with the pitman arm, and the drag link all the way out there, so this way we can steer the vehicle. So I got the seat back in here too. Let's see if I can just turn you around here a little bit. And hopefully you can see that. I'm dropping my template here. So we got the seat here, and I wanted to go a little farther back, but I can't, because right now we're at the limit of when I close this, I just missed the back of the seat by about a ½ inch, which it'll work. And my other challenge right now is I've been kind of thinking about the process of creating my dome. So I don't think I would have a dome on here for me to actually be in it to drive. So, but we do got to have some kind of a windshield, and all these things are things I'm working on to come up with the best solutions. So I marked where this seat is going to go. I sat in it yesterday, and you know, for short drives, even if you're in it for like an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, it'll be okay. It'll be comfortable. Again, we got to do all our upholstery work and just, you know, try to make it look like a finished car. So we still have a lot of challenges ahead of us. You know, we just kind of started with the steering, and I believe that we do have this 100% solved. The seat, like I said, I really wish I could have went back more, and you know, that extra ½ inch, actually it's a little bit more than ½ inch. If I opened this, it's probably more like, if I look at the bottom, that could go right up against the back part of the car. I would say it's about almost 3.5 inches, maybe 4, which is a lot. So one of the things I thought about was, should I have put the motor a little more forward and move the firewall further, but it wouldn't have worked out that way, because then I would have had nowhere to hide the radiator. I wouldn't have had enough space in there. And so these are all things that I looked at again, and looked at again, and this is the way it's got to be. So, like I said, we're not going to go touring with this thing. We're just going to go around the block, maybe to a show, just have a little bit of fun with it. That's about it. It's more or less a project that I kind of wanted to do for a while now, and here we are doing it. Okay, so that's what I did yesterday. Is I played around with the seat, I played around with this template. I ordered material for the template because there's really nowhere around here where you could go and just pick up a piece of 3/16 steel or 1/4 inch steel, small pieces of 1/4 inch, 3/8, you know, whatever. Yeah, you could go to Home Depot and get those, but you can't get them in the width and, you know, the sizes that you need. So I ordered a 12 by 12 plate for this. So now let me walk around. Let me move the camera so we can look at the back a little bit, and we can talk about the back a bit. Let's see. Hopefully I got enough cord here because I'm hooked to my monitor. So sorry if I'm making you dizzy, but I'm doing the best I can here. I'm just not a cameraman, so I think that's going to basically show the back there. So this is basically a 30 by 40 piece of cardboard, and I was originally going to put it down like this, and it's not right now. I can't really level it. I'm just using the arm of the coffin to hold it in place. So basically I was going to do that. I was going to kick these wings up a little bit, but I wanted to shape these wings like basically like bat wings, so this way it kind of just kept with the theme. So I'm kind of rethinking this idea, and I think I'm just going to do a full bottom with just sheet metal so that I can put my tank on there, and maybe even a pump I could put up here. I could probably do a few things up here without putting it all the way underneath the car, because the car's kind of low. So we could do everything up here. We could do an in-tank pump also, I believe, for the Holly system that I have. I could do an in-tank. So we'll address all that when we get to it. Depending on what tank I go with, I may or may not be able to do an in-tank fuel pump. Some offer, some don't. So basically tank, and then around here I'm just going to do a little box, again, to protect the tank and also to finish it off. And it's going to be based on spider webs. So we'll be using rebar for that, and I'll bring you in on the welding once I start kind of drawing it up and doing it. But the bottom's just going to be just plain Jane frame with a piece of maybe say like a 16 gauge sheet metal, and it'll just be painted a flat black or something like that, just something to kind of blend it in and kind of make it disappear. We don't want to make it a focal point. The webbing will be, well, basically it's going to be black, but I don't know, maybe we'll do a little flare here and there, and I'm going to see if I can actually add a spider in there. That's like a little bit beyond my actual creativity. I'm not an artist, but I'm going to do what I can to make that happen. I think it'll be pretty cool, and somewhere along the line we're going to have a spider. It's going to have a cover. Maybe the spider will be the handle to open and close the cover, but we'll see. Anyway, so I just want to finish up the back here, because I designed this frame based on the 23T frame. I didn't really want to use a dragster style frame, because it just would have been overkill for what we're doing here. The T-bucket frame was easy for me to build. It was easy to source the materials. It was quick. And that's what I was looking for. I didn't want to get crazy with a $1 million, you know, dragster frame, because a basic frame is going to be at least $7 grand. I put the whole frame together for maybe $1,200, maybe a little bit under $2,000 definitely, and it worked out the way I believe it should work out. So these are the couple things that you know, I did yesterday, just trying to figure out where we're going to go from here. Once I get that steering set up, and the exhaust is going to hold me back. Once we, here, let me take you back here a minute. Sorry for making you guys dizzy today. But, so the exhaust, let's see, let's back us up a little bit here. So the way I'm seeing the exhaust is going to be in this general area here, you know, at the bottom, of course. And we'll have our pipes coming straight up and set up just like the original car, like organ pipes. And they'll be on both sides, of course. And I have the general idea how I'm going to do that. Already, I would say I'm at 80% of the way I'm going to do it. It may, you know, to get to the 100%, maybe we are at 100. I don't know until I start building it and start looking at it and start determining, you know, the best way to do this. You don't want it to be, you know, big and clunky, but also it's got to stay size-wise. It has to be, you know, it has to be on scale with what we have here. So that's going to be, you know, I thought that was going to be our challenge this weekend, but unfortunately, nothing's getting shipped out for a while. I'm sure the holiday had a little bit to play with that, and you know, just overall, a lot of things are shipped directly from manufacturers these days, and nobody's in a hurry to get anything done. And there wasn't even an overnight option or anything, so that tells you they're basically in a hurry to do nothing. But it is what it is. So that's where we are right now. Today, I may not be able to get any further than sitting, you know, at my desk or whatever, and you know, playing designs. All right, but anyway, so I'll continue on whatever else I'm thinking about. I'll put it on. I'll put it in the video. Thank you. All right, so I went and I picked up the metal that I could to create the back part of the deck that's going to hold the gas tank. So I cut it already using the Evolution saw back there, which is a fantastic saw. And this is what we cut. We cut those to the dimensions that I needed. And what we need to do next, but it's not going to happen today because I need to move some stuff around. What's going to happen next is I'm going to need to set that up on my welding table and get everything lined up to make sure it's going to be square, to make sure everything's going to fit properly, and then I'll weld it up. And we'll do that on camera so you can see. Basically, my welding table is a little small, so I'm going to do a little research today. Maybe I'll buy another one. I bought a clutch, which is inexpensive. You know, it's a good table for what we're doing here. But if you're welding every day, I wouldn't really recommend something that thin. But for what I'm doing, it's perfect. It'll hold everything in place. Nothing's going to move. I could tack everything up, and then I could do final welding on it also. So I may just buy another table and join them to get more surface, but I'm going to investigate actually getting a bigger table to see what kind of a cost is involved. So that's about it. That's really all I did today. And I found out that our rubber block, or rubber Hemi block, should be in here sometime today. So once it arrives, I'll do an unboxing on it, and we'll compare it to the block that's here on the pallet, just to see what's what. Hope everybody had a safe 4th and a happy 4th, and we'll see you in a little while once the block arrives. Okay, so the FedEx guy dropped off the rubber motor. Packing slip out. And let's see, we're on camera. Yeah. Tough packing material. There she is. She looks good. So now let's compare it to the actual engine that I have. going to be a little bit of a feat. I don't want to move everything. So I'm going to orientate it. Let's see here. So it would be orientated in this fashion here. Can you still see me here? Let me see if I can get you a little bit of a better angle of what I'm doing here. Alright, it's a little bit better. Alright, so I orientated it the same way as the engine there. Now I'm just looking for some key things. Valve looks right, distributor's in the right spot. Looks like once the heads go on, everything would be good there. Let's try to look at the motor mounts. So I'm going to lift this a little bit. And, yeah, these motor mounts do line up. So, like I said before, I was never really into Hemis. I mean, I know what they are. I'm just going to fix the camera here to bring us back to normal. And let me just go ahead and drop this camera. Sorry, but I got no camera, people. It's just me. So, instead of just shutting it on or off all these times, I just choose to do it this way. Okay, so, as I said before, I never really had a Hemi before, but always entertained the thought of having one. You know, kind of like a little hot rodder's dream. So I never had the opportunity to have a car that I really wanted to put it into, except when this Model A kind of fell into my lap, and I decided, okay, you know, it'd be cool to do a flathead in it. And then all of a sudden, I saw this Hemi on Marketplace, and all the variables were there. Price was right. It was not far from where I live. Basically, it was like the perfect storm. So I made the decision, and the guy that sold it to me was a great guy. He told me everything about it, and we stayed in contact even after the sale. I haven't spoken to him lately, but he's anxious to see when we get started on the vehicle. So, you know, I'm going to have him chime in once we start. So, the Model A. So I decided, you know what would be really cool is maybe a, you know, late 50s, early 60s kind of like hot rod, a hot rod theme, I should say. And I said, yo, let me go with a Hemi. And there it was. It just kind of like just appeared. And I was like, yeah, I got to get this. And I have it. It's here. Everything the gentleman told me about it is 100% correct. And here's a few things I didn't know. I was struggling to find this block. And the only reason I was struggling is I didn't realize that a 392 is basically the same block, not necessarily exactly the same, but the outer physical part of it is the same. Motor mounts, where the distributor is, you know, blah, 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 whatever. But physically it's the same, so it was right there under my nose all along, but not really being a Hemi guy, I didn't know that. So a little more research, and then I was like, wow, okay. 392, a rubber block, styrofoam, whatever you want to call it, it'll work. And, you know, we can get started because that block, even without the pistons and everything in it, it's heavy. And it's next to impossible to move around when you're trying to line things up, trying to create motor mounts or trying to line motor mounts up where you're going to weld them. So this here is going to be, a great tool, just as it is, or as it was for the coffin car and a few other builds that I've gone through with the Chevy motor and the transmission. So am I going to get a transmission for this one too when I start building? Possibly. I don't know yet, because I don't know what I'm going to use for a tranny, because they do make lots of kits that you can actually choose your tranny for that motor. So we'll see. But so far, I just want to look at the, let me see something here. Let me look at the back real quick. I was curious about these mounts here. Alright, so this one here, okay, and then that mounts to the bell housing, and then on this side, we have, yep, we have those two. Okay, yeah, that's 100% exact. So guys, this week there wasn't a lot that I got done, a little bit of cutting. a lot of planning to move forward, and now we just got to wait for the headers to come. Well, not headers, the beginning of headers. And that's about it. I'm just waiting for a few odd and end pieces. I got to get another piece of angle because I did run short today. I should have grabbed 4, I only grabbed 3. So I guess that's it for this week. You know, just a little bit done, but a lot of planning got done too. So I'll be I'm not going to post this today. Today's Sunday. I'm not going to post this today. I'll post it tomorrow because I have something else that I'd like to introduce and tell you what we're going to do with come tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow it all works out. Thank you. Well, guys, it's Saturday. Wasn't able to do much today because I had to go to the shop, and I went and I started bringing in my lift parts. Here are the columns. Basically, I brought everything to start putting the lift together. There's the motors, miscellaneous, on-ramps, the wheels that allow me to move it, the crossbars. So basically, we got a lot of stuff here. There's the jack pan, I guess you would call it, jacking pan, and just a lot of stuff. We got some parts there for the clutch table that we're going to be putting together. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. And of course, we're going to have to start finding a home for a lot of the engine parts and things like that. So it looks like a lot of the additional stuff like the jack pan, the ramps, the wheels, the basic stuff, even a power motor for tomorrow. And I got some Snap-on gifts back there that will also go into storage. I'll be putting that all into our new shed in the back because there's plenty of room. So I'll get that out of my way. We're going to pull out the coffin car, push it out because tomorrow's going to be a good day. Hot, humid, but no rain. So we'll be pushing this outside, and we'll be getting rid of some of the stuff back here and trying to give us room for the lift. The lift technically needs to go there, and the Chevelle needs to go up in the air, or the Chevelle can stay down, and we're going to bring the dragster in, maybe put that in the air. Don't know yet. But I guess we'll see what we do tomorrow. In the meantime, I got a few more things to move. Thank you. Well, we got a few things done. I wanted to put them on camera, but I had such a mess here, I had nowhere to actually set the camera up so you could watch me. But I'll take the camera off in a minute to get it closer. So I got my 2 clutch tables together. One I originally had, one I just recently purchased, and amazingly the price didn't change. It's the same price I paid for the original one. I have a few more of these coming in a taller variety of the setup plugs. So I'll take you close. I like the plates that align the table. They did align it good. However, because they sit on top, they become an obstacle. So I'm not sure what to do about that. But maybe, just maybe, I can put them underneath a little. No, actually I can't. I'm going to try. There might be enough room here to do that. So let me just try it right now while they're on camera. So if I go underneath, then I make it happen. Let's see here. Let's put this. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Take a little doing, but I think I could make that happen. Here's the plate I'm talking about. Basically, this would be on one table. Hang on. These 2 holes would be on one table. These 2 would be on the other. And because of the way they're spaced, they would give me the 2 inches consistently throughout the table. It's a cool product, but I think we're going to have to put our twist on it to make it even better. So that's something I may work on today. I have pool duty today, so I can't do much in here, even though I did a lot. I was in here early, and one thing I can't figure out is I've actually added stuff in here today. Why do I have more room? So, something definitely wrong with that picture. But I got the lift ready, I got the columns ready. I don't know if you can see them back there. I think you can. Yes, you can. Columns right there, front and back. And in the process, I knocked off one of my radius arms on the rear of the coffin car, but no big deal, I know where it goes. I never burn them in hot. I burn them in just enough to keep them there while I'm working. And I do all my burn in once I know everything works with the other. Because if you burn them in, even a good solid tack, you still got to grind it in. It's just a pain in the butt. So I just put enough tack on there just to hold it in place. Not thinking, I kind of got a little aggressive moving the car, and I popped the spots. But no big deal. Simple repair. It's all got to get welded anyway. Right now, like I said, we're in mock-up stage. We didn't get our header stubs yet, and they didn't even ship them yet. They were supposed to ship them, but I don't know what's going on with that. I may have to cancel my order and try to find them somewhere else. You know, I don't have time to make them, or I would just make everything from scratch. But with the header flanges, it gives me that little jump start to where I can fabricate the headers a lot quicker. And we'll be using 2.5-inch tubes, so they're going to be beefy, a beefy exhaust. And at that point, once I get that kind of situated and where I want it and mark it, I don't even necessarily have to really, well, actually I do. I can tack the piece in place where I want it, then build my headers just to look at the height and, you know, how they look and if I actually like the placement. Because I can literally move that back and forth to wherever I feel it's necessary. But I think right here is going to be realistic. So it doesn't interfere with me getting in. And when I am getting in, if the car was already started, I'm not going to burn myself. So, you know, little minor challenges. We're getting there. It's just that I'm constantly waiting on parts. And I don't understand what the issue is. You know, it says that they were readily available, ready to ship, and here we are still waiting. And that was over 10 days ago, almost 15 days. So guys, I guess for today, this may be it for finishing up this video. I actually started this video last week, but I didn't have time to add to it. My Monday surprise turned into tomorrow's Monday surprise, hopefully, if nothing changes. And that's about it. So, you know, we're getting there, but we're on a parts holding pattern right now. That's why I played around with the table, which went pretty quick. I didn't like the way these things sat and how they were actually attached. So we do have to change that. And hopefully that's going to give us what we need. And I think it will. So I'll keep you all in tune with what I'm doing here, and then we'll go from there. I may add to this video today, I don't know. If not, thank you for watching.